What's up, guys? This is Zach, and I am back with another PBL battle. This is week 3 of the season, and I'm up against Ian, head coach of the Lake of Rage Ungodly Qwilfishes. This is the final match of our little division matches in the beginning of the season, so I very much want to win this and leave division matches on a positive win-loss. So I guess without any further ado, we're just going to get right into the match. So, Ian has a lot of scary things on his team, a lot of fast things, and I kind of called his bluff on some things, and he really made me pay for it. But I did expect this Rabambi to show up, so Rabambi's on the field, and Jazz Hands comes out. So, I'm just going to go ahead and straight overheat here. I'm anything I can to deny sticky webs being on the field is kind of my priority here. So, he's going to U-turn out, knowing I'm just going to hit him and defog his sticky webs away. He brings out Spooky, which I did not expect him to bring both Dustclops and Blissey this week. I guess he really called my bluff that I wasn't going to bring Megalopony, so good prep on his part. But if I did bring Megalopony, it would have been a lot nicer. But I'm just going to Will-O-Wisp this Dustclops. I don't really know what he wants to do to me, but I know he's probably going to expect me to switch or something, so he goes for the Willow. I'm immune to it being a fire type, so it worked out for me that turn. I know that he's likely a rest set, and the burn probably didn't do anything but give him a little bit of chip damage before he rests, but I wanted to see what he was doing before I went into some of my more vulnerable mons. So now I come out to Ferric Oxide, and he does that Nightshade, so I know this set. This is like a rest, sleep talk, Nightshade, Will-O-Wisp set. Just meant to be there and rest and just be fat, generally. So he's going to Will-O-Wisp me. I knew he was going to Will-O-Wisp me. That's his best play. Ian makes pretty good plays. He knows what he's doing. But while I'm out here, I'm just going to throw up some Stealth Rocks. Honestly, some of Ian Walls feel like they're a little bit of setup fodder, to be honest. Especially Pyukumuku. Good on him for not bringing Pyukumuku, because if he did, I was going to set up all over that thing. But he now goes for the rest, so confirming that it's the set that I was expecting. But I'm just going to go ahead and, knowing now he's going to heal up. Got to watch this health bar go all the way up. So now I'm going to throw out my Leech Seed. He can choose to stay in and keep doing this like rest thing, but I think he realizes he's not going to win this. But I'm still going to go for the knockoff. I brought knockoff because both Blissey and Dustclops, just in case. Well, I had it for whether one of them came. I didn't expect both of them to come. So knockoff was really important this time. Double Eviolite to knock off. But he actually just goes out to this Rabambi. And I'm just going to go ahead and knock off, which won't do much to Rabambi since I'm burned and Rabambi resists it. And it shows that he was a Focus Sash, so those rocks actually really helped break the sash, even if I didn't get that knockoff on him. So I was happy with that. I'm just gonna Iron Ball because Rabambi is so, or Gyro Ball, sorry, because Rabambi is so fast and I am so slow. Even though I'm burned, it does not matter. Rabambi's going down, but he did set up the Tailwind, so that is something I did not expect Ian to do. I really thought he was just gonna let this thing die to throw out some sticky webs, but he's actually a little more proactive with it. He does Tailwind instead, which is actually a big problem for me. I was prepared for like a Dragon Dance Komodo, or if he just tried to do the Clangerous Soul Blaze to get boosts. I was aware that it was a big possibility that he brought both, like Dragon Dance and the Clangerous Soul Blaze. So he Dragon Dances there, and I'm in trouble. To say the least, I am in trouble. So he's Leech Seeded, so at least he's on a timer. But I know that he might pull off some crazy move here. I'm actually just going to go ahead and go into my Rotom Heat here, in case he tries to get cocky and set up another Dragon Dance or something like that. But he actually just goes for the Drain Punch. So it shows he's got Dragon Dance, Drain Punch, probably this Clangerous Scales, and I don't know what the last one is at this point. So I'm a little spooked, to say the least. I get my HP recovery from this Leech Seed, and it brings me up to like 118, so I'm sitting in like this low 70.
Stop right there, criminal scum! Nobody breaks the law on my watch. I'm confiscating your stolen goods. Now pay your fine, or it's off to jail.
We cannot show you this drawn-out animation of the abomination that is Como, because Nintendo flopped its big old daddy dick down on us with a copyright strike on the initial video. Honestly, this is better, because Como truly is unceremoniously unpleasant to look at. Please forgive us, oh Lord Bowser.
Jazz Hands isn't living. Newsflash. Spoiler alert. Jazz Hands goes down. And all of his stats rise. So now he's at +2 speed, +2 attack. I'm in trouble. What I need to do... Tailwind petered out, which is important. I know Tailwind petered out. So I need to go into Noggin my Yuxi, and I need to Thunder Wave this thing to get it back down to the speed I need. And he Shadow Claws me, so he reveals that last move. And it does so much damage. It crits, actually. But I live on 3 HP, so... I just Thunder Wave, and now, like, the game's not over. I'm feeling good now. Before, I thought it was done. I thought he was just going to hit me with another Dragon move here, and it might have done enough. I didn't even look at the calc to see if I would live his strongest move, but I lived a crit Shadow Claw, so probably would have. But he's just going to finish off Noggin here. I was afraid he might try to Dragon Dance or something, so that he would be at that threshold that outspeeds my again, which would have been very problematic. But I'd throw out Battlefield got weird, and I outspeed at this point, so I'm going to Psyshock. And there's no way this thing is living a Psyshock in my terrain, and I'm Choice Specs this week. So that huge threat is gone. I think he claimed a couple lives still, but it's okay. Or maybe just one life. But anyway, I'm going to Psyshock this Necrozma just to see what kind of set he is. I don't expect that he can one-shot me back, so I'm just fishing. That only did about maybe 38 to 40%, I don't know. Just looking at it, I don't think it even did 40. Because rocks, and then brought him down to half. So he has leftovers. He had Iron Head, which hurts, but it didn't KO. So now I know he has Iron Head. I'm going to go into Ferric Oxide. And he's going to withdraw, predicting something. So Ian knows I'm not going to stay in and let this thing die just for some damage. So he brings out Rotten Egg, which I thought was a pretty great nickname. That green is a very ugly green for a shiny. So Rotten Egg fits it pretty perfectly. But I'm actually just going to throw Leech Seed out on this thing. He sets up late game Stealth Rocks, which could have been big, but I wasn't super concerned about Stealth Rocks like I was with Sticky Webs in the beginning of the game. And now that Bombi's gone, there's no Sticky Webs, I'm feeling a lot better. If he had gone Sticky Webs, this might have turned out a little bit differently, but I'm not entirely sure. There was so much that happened. But I would love to Leech Seed this thing because I'm going to get so much HP back from it. There's no way he's going to be able to beat me. So he's going to switch out. And I'm just going to go for the knockoff. It's pretty safe. At this point, he has a Zero Aura that has some item that might be pivotal to it. He's got Necrozma, so this is super effective on it, and it will knock off his leftovers. And then he has 2 Eviolite mods. So knockoff was kind of the free play. It doesn't do a lot of damage, but I get rid of his Eviolite, which is pretty important. At this point, I know he's got one more turn of sleep, so I'm going to go and risk it and bring out but I didn't realize that it would do... Stealth Rocks would do exactly 19 HP, so now I'm sitting at 50 HP, which, if you know what Nightshade does, if he actually does this Sleep Talk and gets Nightshade, it does exactly 50 damage, but he gets Rest, so he gets pretty unlucky. I guess that's what happens when you run this set, but if he got Nightshade there, goes down. But can finish off this Dusclops, and he doesn't have any Eviolite. It's pretty quick. And he brings out Coltrane, baby. Coltrane, I don't like it. I don't like battling this. I don't like battling this Thundercat. I don't like anything about it. I'm going to get out. I know that it does. The Stealth Rocks do 19 points of damage, so I can live a couple more switches. And Ferric Oxide comes out just to see what he wants to do. He goes for Plasma Fists, and at this point, I'm just wondering what set he is. It doesn't do a whole lot, and he takes some Iron Barbs damage. And he doesn't take Life Orb damage. I know in the past he used Life Orb on this thing, so I'm thinking it could potentially be like a Scarf just to make sure he outspeeds everything, because that wasn't banded damage. And then he goes for a close combat, so he switches his move. So he's not choiced into anything. He doesn't have a Life Orb to boost his attacks. I'm not sure what item he has on right now, to be honest. But all I know is, since he's not Scarfed, I can actually make a play that I prepared for this match. So Goggles comes in. Goggles would normally be a little bit afraid of this thing running an HP Ice, which he does throughout, but Goggles has a snack. He brought a snack today. It's the Yachi Berry. So Yachi Berry lets Goggles live that HP Ice with relative ease, and I get a Dragon Dance up. Now that I have my Dragon Dance up, I outspeed this thing, and I'm not really scared of it at all. So I'm going to Earthquake because I don't want to lock myself into the Outrage I have yet. That would be, I think, a misplay. Earthquake hits everything relatively hard, and then I can go in Outrage as needed. So he keeps Coltrane Baby in. Earthquake takes it down. And he's got, I think, Necrozma and Chansey left. So he actually makes a pretty smart play here. He's expecting the Outrage. And what he's going to try to do is see if I get 2-turn Confusion and hit myself from Confusion. That's how he can turn this game around. If I died, I think he wins, honestly. I think if I hit myself Confusion, he might clean up my team, because I don't think I have anything that can hit Chansey twice and KO it. But I'm going to go ahead and Outrage again. Now I'm confused. So 2-turn Outrage, Confusion, and he's just soft-boiled spamming, hoping I'm going to hit myself this turn. So right here, this turn is what it really all comes down to, I think. He's at like 51%, and I think 50% is the minute I do. And I don't get confused in this Outrage. So I hit him, and I'm really hoping it goes down, and it does. So Rotten Egg is gone. All he has is Necrozma left. So I actually brought this little stupid Scarfed Aselgar. It's very niche and very like tricky for his Mega Alakazam and his Superior. And I think Ian knew I was going to do something like that, so he didn't bring it. It was very smart on his part. But I'm going to go ahead and Outrage, and I don't get confused, so Flygon finishes off Necrozma. But back to my point, I brought that Aselgar for those. And since he didn't bring Superior or Mega Alakazam, my Aselgar was pretty useless, to be honest. Hand Soap the Aselgar was in the back. But my point about that was, if I hit myself Confusion and he killed my Flygon with his Necrozma, then Aselgar can come out and just Bug Buzz it and do a massive amount of damage, probably finish it off. But anyway, I think that makes it a 6-3 finish, so I'm 2-1 with a +5 now. I'm starting to look a little bit better. I'm ready to head into the middle of the season, so I hope all my opponents are ready. I think the first one up is Casey. I'll see you next week.